November 29th, 2022. Right there, I'm glad I looked at it. That's a string fixing to break right there on olive oil. See that? See how small that is? That thing's fixing to go. So I won't be shooting her this morning. Let me see if I can get it back down without it hurting me. Okay. Look at that again. Oh yeah. That string is very close to breaking right there. Okay. Won't be shooting olive oil this morning. I have a spare string, I'm pretty sure somewhere, and I'll have to repair that. I just got through repairing changing the string on the Excalibur crossbow, and now I'm going to have to repair the string on olive oil, the Howard Hill Wesley Special longbow. So that leaves me with only one alternative right this minute, and that would be to atlatl. I'm not going to do too much with this. I hurt my back yesterday messing around sawmilling, and not real bad, but I'm a little stiff this morning. But I'm going to take a fling at this deer, and I have no idea if I'll hit it or not, but I'm hoping I will. All right, take a picture of that. I'm satisfied with that right there. It's a kill. It's low, but it's a kill. All right. Now what I want to talk about this morning, let me walk over here and get my piece of paper. I got a piece, I did some notes because I don't want to get this, I don't want to mess this up right here. We found something on YouTube yesterday that I believe is going to be very significant, possibly historic. My glasses are hiding out in here. What I'd like you to do, any of you that are interested, you're going to check out a Supreme Court case that is being looked at right now. My information is that it's going to be decided very quickly. Now this has to do with the 2020 election. The case is called Brunson, B-R-U-N-S-O-N, v. Adams, A-D-A-M-S. The court, the number on the Supreme Court, if you want to look it up on the Supreme Court docket, you go to supremecourt.gov, I guess, is 22-380. If you'll remember, back in the 2020 election, quite a few lawsuits were brought. One of them was big. It was quite a few states joined together and brought a lawsuit about the fraudulent elections. And apparently they were dismissed for lack of standing. Now, there's been other cases brought, but this one here is a little bit different. And apparently the reason that it's important is because depending on which way the Supreme Court rules on this, in a few days apparently, it could nullify the 2020 election. Let me tell you quickly how it works. On January 6th, Congress met to certify the election. Apparently 100 witnesses from Congress, the House of Representatives and the Senate, asserted that the election was fraudulent. Apparently Ted Cruz was one of the main ones, and Ted Cruz is known for being one of the top constitutional attorneys in the nation. Apparently, according to law, when a significant number, and I don't know the number, of witnesses from Congress assert that there has been fraud committed, by law, Congress is obligated to do a 10-day investigation before they certify the election. They did not. The members wanting certification overwhelmed the other side and refused to do this 10-day investigation. This lawsuit asserts that that is a crime. They have named 385 members of Congress, including Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, of committing a crime by refusing to have a 10-day investigation. This lawsuit is not saying that the election was fraudulent. It's saying that these 385 members of Congress broke the law by not having a 10-day investigation. If the Supreme Court rules that this is true, then the certification will be null and void, meaning that all of these 385 members of Congress will be guilty of a serious crime by refusing to give a 10-day investigation, and they will have to be removed from office because the Constitution says that members of Congress that commit crimes like this have to be removed and may never serve again in federal or state office. Okay, that's really the gist of it. This guy Brunson is one of several brothers that are constitutional experts and do this sort of thing. I would go ahead, if I was you, if you're even interested, and keep up with this. Depending on which way the Supreme Court goes, and my understanding from watching these videos that I just watched, this is more or less being ignored by the mainstream media, but this gives the Supreme Court a huge amount of power because they could essentially overturn the election and arrest all of these members of Congress. You can go to the search engine on your YouTube and put in Brunson versus Adams and inform yourself about this. Now, I want to read you one thing here, and then I'm going to cut this one short because I've got a bowstring I've got to fix and quite a few other things I have to do. Oh, we did go last night and hunt. I sat in my Texas tripod stand and did not see any deer. The deer activity in my area is very slow right now, and I suppose that they are tired of being pursued and shot at and are laying low and probably coming out more at night. Even in our field that we pass going out, which there are almost always 7 to 12 deer in that field, it's only about 2 acres, out there grazing around, and they're not scared of the car or the lights, but they weren't there last night. So something is afoot in the deer hunting world. Now, I want to read this to you right here. This is John 11:25 through 27. This is Jesus talking to Martha, one of his very good friends. This is when he showed up when her brother Lazarus died. Jesus, who is Yeshua in Hebrew, his real name is Yeshua, said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live even though he may die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. And he asked Martha, do you believe this? Yes, Lord, she replied. I believe you are the Messiah, the Son of God who is to come into the world. Yeshua said, I am the resurrection and the life. This is one of the many times that he was claiming essentially to be God in human form or come to visit his creation. He says, I am. I am is the name for God in Hebrew. I am. I am the resurrection and the life. That right there, to me, I don't see how you could interpret anything else. And he's claiming to have control of life and death. The one who believes in me will live even though they die. To me, it says believe. Well, I believe this. I didn't used to believe it. It took me a long time, but people kept coming back at me. You need to check this out. I binged listening to preachers on the radio back then. And it just kept on and kept on. And I kept saying, well, how can a man be God? How can this be possibly true? I do believe it now, and I believe it wholeheartedly. Can't prove it. Wouldn't try to prove it. This can't be proven. This is something beyond science. Whoever lives by believing in me will never die. I'm going to ask you, do you believe this? That's what Yeshua Jesus said. You'll find this in John 11:25 through 27. This is Gardner Israel, and I hope that I get to talk to you again. Signing off.